Say bye-bye to Say Baba, a legacy of missed opportunities for President Buhari. As the curtain closes on President Buhari's 8 years in power, Nigerians are left to reflect upon a legacy marked by missed opportunities. It was clear within the first few months of the Say Baba administration, the initial struggle to put together a cabinet being particularly telling, that Buhari, for all his desperation to take power, had not done his homework and was ill-prepared for the demands of the office. A summary of Buhari's 8 years. His ardent supporters will say he built more infrastructure than any leader before him. They will point to the construction of the second Niger Bridge, multiple railroad projects and roads across the country. They would also say he assented to many bills the coming administration can hopefully build upon. Some would also applaud Nigeria's response to the COVID-19 pandemic under his watch, which the WHO ranked as the fourth most successful globally. His anti-corruption stance initially earned him the Mai Gaskiya title, meaning the honest one. Time has, however, eroded that perception. Nothing captures this better than when he granted pardons to two ex-governors, Joshua Dariye and Jolin Yami, who were indicted for corruption. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) even said that they were demoralized by that action, having spent 11 years and hundreds of millions of naira prosecuting these cases. No other president has plunged Nigeria into as much debt as he has. In his 8 years in office, Buhari raised Nigeria's debt profile from $7.3 billion inherited from former President Goodluck Jonathan to $41.8 billion, a 400% increase. His economic policies left many scratching their heads. Take your pick from anyone between the controversial Anchor Borrowers Program, Trader Money, the Naira redesign, and the shutdown of our borders. All told, 133 million Nigerians now live in multi-dimensional poverty. The World Bank projects that by 2025, 13 million more Nigerians will join them. Unemployment will rise by 41% this year. Electoral reform, which Nigeria initially had high hopes about, us included, was another facade. The events of the 2023 general elections made that apparent. Buhari has had a mixed record on human capital development. Some people might say it's terrible, although there are capital interventions in the health and education sectors. The unending ASU strikes and the brain drain of doctors tell you all you need to know about how that went. Due to his military credentials, many Nigerians expected him to bolster security. This also turned out to be a massive letdown. While it is true that Boko Haram has recently piped down, it is unclear if it is entirely due to Buhari's efforts or the internecine struggles of Islamic terrorist groups in northern Nigeria. In the southeast, the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB) has been a constant scourge with his enforced sit-at-home orders. The rise in kidnapping for a ransom across Nigeria is alarming. A former minister described it as a burgeoning industry. The Vanguard reports that since they assumed office in May 2015, 63,111 Nigerians have been killed under his administration. And young Nigerians will not forget the events of EndSARS, culminating in the military officers' shooting of unarmed protesters on October 20, 2020. Till today, Buhari hasn't told us who gave the kill order. We could point to his nepotism as evidence in his lopsided appointments, disregard for the rule of law, clamp down on the media, frequent junketing and medical tourism, and an inability to unite Nigerians. Losses in several areas quickly overshadowed any gains he made in one area. Based on these, his 8 years as Nigeria's president are best described as a net negative. This is Buhari's legacy. Buhari's famous last words. Buhari was camera shy in his early days in office and rarely addressed the media. This came with several conspiracy theories about his health, such as possessing a body double. Nigerians on Twitter would also recall that he locked his comment section for a while. However, the latter end of his regime have seen him speak out more. Surprisingly off the cuff, Buhari asked Nigerians for forgiveness in April, saying he'd accept all criticism. This represents a marked departure from the nonchalant and aloof demeanor that have become a representation of his political career. Despite his hard guy stance, Buhari cares about what we think of him and wants history to be kind to him.
We are all humans. There is no doubt I hurt some people and I wish they would pardon me. And those that think that I've hurt them so much, please pardon me.
But the most revealing utterance Buhari has made to date comes from his speech on May 23 at the launch of the new headquarters of the Nigerian Customs Service in Abuja. In the speech, he explained his reason for the controversial closure of Nigeria's borders. Buhari said it was deliberate and designed to force Nigerians to grow what they eat. he genuinely thinks it was a good policy, which Nigerians appreciated him for eventually.
That they have to impress their neighbors and other people that they eat foreign rice. I said, no rice. You either you eat what you grow what you eat, or you die. I think I tried to make my point. And later, Nigeria appreciated it because it provides more jobs. People go back to the land. We have the land, and we produce what we eat.
And yet, for all the uproar, Buhari has consistently said that he's all about himself for the last 8 years. In his inaugural speech on May 29, 2015, Buhari said, "I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody. If only we knew and we are ready."
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
On May 29, 2023, the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu will give his inaugural speech. Despite misgivings about the elections, Tinubu's speech might give insights as to what to expect from his administration. Ultimately, if Buhari's time in office has taught us anything, it is that we should lower our expectations.